Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Books Are Everywhere. It's the 1st of July today and I'm here to play mini golf to decide what books I am going to read this month, which I'm very excited for. If you want to see any of the previous mini golf TBRs, you can look at the playlist, which I will link down below, and if you want to see last month's, that will also be linked down there as well. But basically every month I play mini golf to decide what books I am going to read. But before we get into the game, I'm just going to tell you how I did with last month's TBR, and then I will tell you the rules, and then we will actually start playing. And this is basically how I pick my TBR. So in no particular order, I'm starting with Only on the Weekends, which I used the prompt most recent purchase, and this one was interesting. I did enjoy it. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't as good as The Black Flamingo in my opinion, but it also had kind of this storyline of not necessarily cheating but kind of non-monogamy, which was interesting, but it was never going to quite be for me personally, so I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I got the prompt of New Author, in which I went for Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. There will be a vlog coming where I just read this book on my own in a caravan, which was so much fun, and I did really enjoy this book. It was so unique. It was kind of like Evil Dead style horror, which I really enjoyed. Set in a haunted kind of like IKEA shop, which was really cool. Love this design so much. I love that it's like an IKEA catalogue. I think it is so clever. Yeah, this one was really good. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I had proof released, so a proof copy I had that has been released, and that is As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper. And this one was interesting. I didn't love it. I didn't really love the characters or click with the characters, and I feel like it needed more space in the book to do what it was trying to do maybe. I don't know, it didn't quite blow me away, and I wasn't really kind of rooting for the characters as much as I wanted to, so I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. I then read Lowest Rated, which I then got Witches Steeped in Gold, which I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I read it and I agree. I think I gave it 2 stars. It was not great. I was very lost in the story. I feel like there was so much going on that I wasn't really paying attention. It went straight over my head. I listened to the audiobook and just didn't really listen to most of it, and for a change I don't think that's me, I think that's the book. I just couldn't take any of it in, to be honest, but I did finish it and I gave it 2 stars, I think, as far as I remember. 2 or 2.5, but I'm pretty sure it was 2. And then I completely failed to read A Heart So Fierce and Broken for a book you've had for over a year, but I did read A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is the first book in this series, so I'm kind of counting that as a win. I am also going to be carrying on with this series at some point, hopefully this month, doing kind of a loose buddy read for this one. So I'm not really too worried about this, because it kind of will be carried over, but also I did read like a different book in this series for the prompt and it still fits the prompt. It is a book I've had for over a year. It just wasn't necessarily on my TBR because I'd read it before. So I didn't really know whether to like count it last month when I did this and when I actually picked this prompt, but I'm going to count it. It was on my TBR because I knew I wanted to reread it, and I have had it for over a year because I've had it since it came out. So I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I really loved the second time round as well, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I will be carrying on with the series at some point, hopefully this month. So a quick look at the rules before we start. Basically I have 4 holes, which you will see in a second, and I just try and get a ball into each hole essentially, or into any hole. If I get a ball into a hole, there is a prompt attached to that hole, and then I choose a book based on the prompt that is on that hole. I have 5 books that I choose every single month, and I have 5 goes to get a ball in a hole. If I keep missing after that 5, then I restart that go and add another book to my TBR, which has only happened once so far. It could happen at any time. And then if I do get 3 hole-in-ones in a game, then I can choose a different prompt if I do want to swip one out. That was switch and swap. Swip one out at any point. But anyway, I think that's everything. Let's go. I am going to replace 3 of the prompts because I seem to have lost 3 of them. Now, there was always one missing because of the end of the last game. I don't replace the prompt at the end of the last game. I don't know what happened to the others, so I'm going to replace the 3 prompts that I'm currently missing, and Blue still has a prompt on from last month. I have a box of prompts here which I will choose and try not to look at myself because I do like to be as surprised as I can be. So this is the first one, which I think is that way around. It's hard to not look at these through the laminate, but this is going on green. Okay, let's start the game. You should be able to see the holes now. They all have prompts on them, so I'm just gonna start and see what we get. So for the first prompt, let's go. That was way too hard. Okay, let's not attack the holes. That was also pretty violent. Okay, the third shot. Oh dear, I'm not doing very well. This is not a great start to the game. And for the fifth and hopefully final, or we will already be adding a book to my TBR. Let's see if I can actually get this in. Okay, I got it in orange at least. That means I don't have to add another book to my TBR. Let's see what the prompt is. Okay, so the prompt is cozy reading. So I'm gonna say that this is a vibe. I'm gonna go for a vibe. I don't know which one to choose for this. There are some books that I want to get on my TBR. Because I would like to read them before Yelk or just in July in general. So yeah, I'm going to choose one that denotes cozy reading to me. So I actually think I'm going to pop A Heart So Fierce and Broken back on my TBR because I am hoping to read this one in July. And I don't know, the first one was very cozy to me, I would say. And I feel like this is kind of like cozy fantasy. It's quite easy to read. Bridget Kemmer also writes contemporary and I feel like that comes across in her fantasy. And I just found it very comforting to read the first book. And it felt like, you know, being in a warm blanket. So I'm going to go for A Heart So Fierce and Broken, pop this one back on my TBR, which is not something I usually do, but I feel like this is a special situation. Okay, I'm replacing the prompt on orange. I'm going to choose this one. Okay, for the next prompt, let's go. I didn't really mean for that to happen. I feel like that just literally rolled straight in. Let's see what I literally just put on orange. Okay, this one is a quick read, which I feel like is interesting because these are both prompts that are not like concrete, they're quite subjective. Like a lot of things could be a quick read. So I don't know what to choose. I have an idea though, which I recently bought, so I'm going to get that. And the one I'm going to pick for this is Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli, which is set in the Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda universe. And this is a very, very short book, which is basically a collection of emails between some of the characters in Love, Simon, I believe. And some of the characters in that kind of universe, because there's also The Upside of Unrequited and Leah on the Offbeat. So yeah, this is just a collection of emails about kind of where they go next, I think. Epilogue kind of thing. So yeah, exciting. Carrying on with the Love, Simon universe. Also watching Love, Victor at the moment, so this feels quite fitting. Okay, let's replace the prompt on orange and try not to get orange like straight away again. I'm gonna go for this one. Is that right way? I think that's the right way. Okay, so for the third book, let's go. I honestly thought that was gonna go straight back into orange, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't have another one, because 3 oranges in a row would be a lot. Again, I just attacked the holes. I don't know what is up with me today. This is a chaotic game so far. I honestly was really aiming for green there and it just completely went off the rail. Okay, let's try again. I believe this is the 4th. So we've got 2 more shots at this one. And we've got 1 more shot at this one. Okay, wish me luck. Guess we're adding a book to the TBR and doing 6. Okay, so this basically means I just kind of discard what just happened and do another one, but we also add a book on to the end, so we are going for 6 books now. So for the third book, let's try again. Yay, straight through green. Okay, let's see what the prompt is on green. And the prompt on green is a contemporary. I've got a few ideas that I want to do for this one, so let's choose a book. So my camera died, but we're back. So the book I'm choosing for this is If You Still Recognise Me by Cynthia So. This is a contemporary that the author is going to be at Yelk, so I'm very excited to be able to read this one. Hopefully before Yelk, we will see. I have less than a week to go now. I think this is also an LGBT romance that is kind of set on the internet, or like is surrounding the internet. I know Spoopy Hole read it recently and said there was a lot about Tumblr in here, so I'm excited to read this one. It looks great, love the cover so much, so I'm glad I got it on my TBR. Okay, and for the fourth book out of 6, let's go. No, I need to replace the prompt. Chaos. Okay, replacing the prompt on green with this one, which I think is the right way. Okay, so for the fourth book, let's go. Okay, I missed the first one. I hate the blue one because it's so hard to judge if you actually, like, if it goes round or not. What do I count? I want it to go fully round. That was violent. I don't know if this is the 4th or 5th shot. This is bad. Okay, went fully round blue. I'm counting that. Prompt is second hand. This is when I embarrass myself by realising I don't have any second hand books, but no, I think I do. I think I do. I'm gonna choose one. So this is Mina and the Undead, which is second hand. Somebody actually gifted this to me, I believe, or I just paid for postage. I'm so sorry, I can't remember who gifted this to me now. But yes, I did receive this one secondhand, either by buying it or just paying postage, or it was a gift. I cannot quite remember. But thank you to that person. But yes, I do have this one, which I'm currently reading, but I'm only 40 pages in, so I feel like that's enough to kind of still count it on a TBR for this month. But yes, so this one's set in New Orleans. It's about vampires and a haunted house. Apparently it's very summer horror, so perfect for this time of year, and also the author is going to be at Yelk, so perfect. Okay, and the next one is gonna go for this one. Okay, so for the 5th book out of 6, let's try. Too hard again. Okay, we went through turquoise. Let's see what the prompt is. Okay, I have scroll feed, which is not one I've actually done before, but essentially I just scroll a social media feed. I'm gonna go with Instagram and see what comes up. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Instagram. I can't be bothered to take this off my tripod, so we're gonna go through here. The first one is Love on the Brain and the American Roommate Experiment. Okay, don't have either of those, so I'm gonna skip past it. The first one to die at the end, not out yet, or the first to die at the end. These are not books. These are still not books. So much of this is like sponsor content and stuff that's coming up. Why do I have no books on my feed, excuse me? Once Upon a Broken Heart, I have read. Not books. The Summer I Turned Pretty, don't have. Don't have that one. Don't have any of those. Oh, this one has a lot of books in the same picture. And I've already read them, or I don't own them, which is annoying. Also does this one. I'm kind of tempted, you know, because the Ali Hazelwood books have come up a few times, whether to read an Ali Hazelwood novella, which is something I was thinking of anyway, reading soon, because I loved The Love Hypothesis so much. So I might actually do that and read The Love Hypothesis, or sorry, read a novella of Ali Hazelwood's. Let's do that. I'm not going to decide that now because I don't know which one. The tripod fell apart. But I will read an Ali Hazelwood novella and report that to you in the next mini golf TBR. Okay, replacing the final prompt, I'm gonna go with this one. And for the 6th and final book, let's see what we get. Mist Orange. I got an orange, yay! Okay, let's see what the prompt is. And it is a brown cover. I feel like I don't really have a lot of brown covers, but let's see what we can come up with. So my memory card filled up on my camera and I literally cannot be bothered and do not have time to replace it, to carry on. So because we're at the end of this video, I'm just going to record the ending on here. Honestly, the chaotic end to the most chaotic TBR mini golf I've ever filmed. The first book I picked up was a brown cover though. This is Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. I don't know what this book is about, but I know it's a book I need to read in July. And I think this is a fiction book. Apparently it's a celebration of the enduring strength of female bonds, of what we pass down from mother to daughter, epic in scope yet intimate in detail. It's a vivid portrait of 3 generations of Southern black family, as well as an ode to the city they call home. And it has a brown cover. Perfect. At least one thing went right in this video. Anyway, so quickly, in a backwards order, I'm reading Memphis for brown cover. I'm going to read an Ali Hazelwood novella for Scroll Feed. I've got Mina and the Undead for second hand. I've got If You Still Recognise Me for contemporary. I've got Love Creekwood for a quick read, and I've got knocked my phone over. And I've got A Heart So Fierce and Broken for a cozy reading time, or cozy read, or whatever that prompt is, which is just vibes. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this chaos unfold. I'm going to go now. And I'll see you in the next video.